I was dangerous.
You know what I think, though? And you're gonna hate this, but it's like a basketball team.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey was traded to the 49ers, and he was like a star. He is a star, like an NBA player. Yeah. And guess what? He makes everybody better.
You
know what? They were able to move Kittle and Debo and even Elijah Mitchell to a degree, Ayuk. Those guys are all really good, but they're not carriers. Christian McCaffrey's a carrier. And he has then allowed really good players to kind of play off him. And now they look unstoppable.
Yeah. Man, Steiny, they do offensively. And defensively, we know that wasn't a real Niner team. But, man, I couldn't believe that game was so close. But I'll say this. When the Niners brass, Lynch and Shanahan were talking about, hey, we need to make this move, or any team tries to bring in or incorporate a player, this is what you want.
Hey, no doubt.
I mean, Steiny, you know what? That didn't even sound like shade. McCaffrey's come in, and we saw Jimmy look different. But Brock Purdy, Steiny, I don't know where it's going to end. If he's the future quarterback with no competition, I don't know. But right now, Steiny, if you said, Goo, who you betting on to go to the bowl out of the NFC, it's Frisco. I'm going to give out there. I mean, you can understand that, right?
Of course.
Philly's injured.
They're the best. They've won 9 in a row.
Yeah.
They're the only team in the NFL that's on that kind of a winning streak right now. My question is, if you're a 49er fan at 888-957-9570, to me, I never like to make a huge deal out of one game.
Right.
But my question is, does the result of that game kind of invigorate you because the offense was so good? And I know that, it's the NFL. Guys are going to score. But does that game make you any less confident because of how the Raiders move the ball?
It's the first thing you said, because it inspires confidence from this vantage point. Now we've seen Brock Purdy and this offense come from behind. I don't see another scenario to where Dallas, Minnesota, any other in a Green Bay, who I'm not worried about them, Steiny, if they match up with the Niners. It's not defense or bust anymore. So the offense showed me, hey, we can come back. Now you talk about the weaponry. They can go toe-to-toe. Styles make fights. What if that was Kansas City? What if that was Buffalo? Offensively now, my confidence level in this Niner offense is that to where, okay, defense, if you happen to wet the bed, which you're not, but if you did, you can win it that way. And I don't think they could do that with Jimmy.
I kind of agree. It's hard not to agree with that. I mean, Brock Purdy's looked better than Garoppolo.
Why do you think? And it's no shaded. He looks down. He's a little cocky.
First of all, maybe he's better. Maybe he's just better.
And you know what?
And maybe Kyle Shanahan just didn't start the better quarterback. Look, you can't look at it. It doesn't matter now.
Okay.
But, why was Purdy the third string quarterback? I mean, he looks better than the first two. Okay, that just happened. Okay. No big deal. But to me, Purdy plays with I call it moxie. I think Garoppolo always is a little conservative and afraid to make a mistake, and Purdy's like, well, I'm the third string quarterback, so if I stink, everybody thinks I should stink. And he's playing with a little more carefree. Not carefree, because that makes it sound like you're sloppy, but just he's playing. I think he must be playing the exact same way he played in college in terms of confidence, and just saying, let's just play that way. And he's really smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe there'll be a playoff game where he makes three bad mistakes and they lose, but he doesn't look like that kind of guy right now.
This is what I want you to do for me, because I missed you. Give me a letter grade on what I'm about to tell you. And it starts with Gary Payton Sr. He's a Hall of Famer. Gary Payton was badass. But one of the beautiful points about Gary Payton to me is he thought he was better than what he was. And that's half the battle. And that leads me to Brock Purdy, Steiny. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not the fastest, but he believes he is. And he believes he can fit the ball in these tight windows. And that doesn't mean he's not going to make a mistake. But that's when he did the double guns to Draymond and the pointed to his arm with the veins when they scored. I'm like, dude, you're a third.
So you just compared Brock Purdy to one of the greatest defensive players in NBA history, who's a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
But his mindset is what I'm comparing.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
It's not talent. Brock Steiny, he feels like he belongs, man.
He does. Right?
And I'm gonna go here. I don't think Kyle made an error to where we could say, why didn't you start the best quarterback?
Yeah, sure.
Because he never saw him. You know what I mean? He didn't go to it. But really, Steiny, that Gary Payton thing,
you heard.
Brock Purdy feels like he belongs out there, man. And right now it's looking good.
Listen, I know, and this is just my jab, but it's going to be, but I believe it. I don't believe Shanahan started the best quarterback, and I think he knows he didn't start the best quarterback. That doesn't matter. Brock Purdy's the quarterback right now, and they've won 9 in a row.
All right.